For millennia, one name has echoed through history, a whisper of a lost world, a beacon for dreamers and explorers: Atlantis. A civilization said to be advanced beyond its time, a city of unparalleled beauty, swallowed by the unforgiving sea. Its story, a tantalizing enigma, has inspired countless quests, theories, and debates. Where was it? Did it ever truly exist? What if the answer, or at least a compelling clue, has been staring at us from above, hidden in plain sight, for centuries? High above the Earth, a satellite captures an image unlike any other. In the vast, desolate expanse of the Sahara Desert, a colossal eye stares back. A perfect circle, almost impossibly symmetrical, etched into the arid landscape. This is the Richat Structure, often referred to as the Eye of the Sahara. Its very existence, a marvel of natural artistry, has long fascinated geologists. But for others, its striking appearance ignited a spark of recognition, a tantalizing possibility that links it to one of humanity's greatest unsolved mysteries. Located in Mauritania, in the remote Adrar Plateau, the Richat Structure is not easily accessible. Its sheer scale, a diameter spanning approximately 50 kilometers, makes it difficult to fully appreciate from the ground. Only from an elevated vantage point, or indeed, from space, does its unique concentric formation truly reveal itself. This isolation, this untouched grandeur, only adds to its mystique, suggesting a place preserved by time, perhaps holding secrets untouched by human hands for millennia. Initially, when observed by early astronauts, the Richat Structure was theorized to be an impact crater. Its circular form, so distinct against the featureless desert, suggested a cataclysmic event. For decades, this remained a prevalent theory, adding to its allure as a scar from another time. But as scientific understanding evolved, and more detailed geological surveys were conducted, a different explanation began to emerge, one that removed the cosmic impact but introduced its own brand of geological wonder. Modern geological consensus now identifies the Richat Structure not as a meteor strike, but as a deeply eroded domed anticline. Imagine vast layers of rock, slowly pushed upwards, forming a giant dome. Over millions of years, the relentless forces of wind and water, erosion's patient hand, stripped away the overlying material. This process exposed the underlying rock layers in a circular pattern, creating the concentric rings we see today. A slow, geological dance, creating a masterpiece of natural erosion. Centuries before satellites, before geology, before modern science, a philosopher named Plato penned the most enduring account of Atlantis. His dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, describe a powerful maritime empire, technologically advanced and morally corrupt. This isn't just a fleeting mention. Plato's descriptions are remarkably detailed, providing a vivid blueprint of the city, its layout, its people, and ultimately, its tragic demise. For those seeking Atlantis, Plato's words are the primary map, the ancient text that ignites the modern search. Plato explicitly places Atlantis beyond the Pillars of Hercules. This geographical marker, widely understood to refer to the Strait of Gibraltar, immediately narrows the search area to the Atlantic Ocean. For generations, this simple phrase has guided explorers and researchers, focusing their efforts on the vast expanses west of Europe and North Africa. But what if the interpretation of beyond is not as straightforward as it seems? What if ancient geography held different connotations, different perspectives? Plato's description of the capital city of Atlantis is remarkably specific. He speaks of concentric rings, alternating circles of land and water, surrounding a central island. This ingenious design, serving both defense and infrastructure, painted a picture of a meticulously planned metropolis. He even provided measurements. The central island was approximately 23 kilometers in diameter, surrounded by further rings extending the total outer water ring to about 43 kilometers. Such precision, so many centuries ago, is striking. Let's pause on those dimensions for a moment. Plato describes the capital city's central island as roughly 23 kilometers across. The outer water ring extends to about 43 kilometers. Now, let's turn our gaze back to the Richat Structure. Its inner rings, those most distinct and symmetrical, measure approximately 23.5 kilometers in diameter. The total outer rings span around 40 kilometers. The numbers, strikingly similar, begin to weave a curious tapestry, a bridge between myth and geology that demands closer inspection. Plato's narrative culminates in a devastating tragedy. Atlantis, in its arrogance and power, angered the gods. In a single day and night, it was swallowed by the sea, lost to cataclysmic earthquakes and floods. This sudden, violent demise is central to the legend, explaining its disappearance and the enduring mystery of its location. The idea of an advanced civilization vanishing in an instant fuels the imagination, a stark warning against hubris, a tale of natural forces overwhelming human endeavor. The date of Atlantis' destruction is also specified by Plato, approximately 9600 BC. This places the events around 11,600 years ago, a period long before recorded history as we typically understand it. It was a time of significant geological and climatic change, emerging from the last ice age. Such an ancient date suggests a civilization lost to the very deep past, perhaps obscured by millennia of shifting landscapes and forgotten knowledge. Could elements of this period connect to the Richat structure? Plato describes the Atlanteans as a highly advanced civilization, boasting sophisticated architecture, intricate hydraulic systems, and a powerful navy. Their technological prowess and organized society were hallmarks of their golden age. This detail is crucial. It implies a capacity for engineering and large-scale construction that could shape landscapes, or build cities on par with the detailed descriptions given. The complexity of the Richat structure, though natural, also speaks to a grand design, albeit by nature. With Plato's description in mind, and the striking aerial images of the Richat structure widely available, it wasn't long before intrepid theorists began to connect the dots. The concentric rings, the near-identical dimensions for the central island and outer circles, the location beyond the Pillars of Hercules, all these elements, when overlaid, began to form a compelling, if controversial, pattern. Could this geological wonder be more than just eroded rock? Could it be the very blueprint of the lost city? One of the most significant challenges to the Richat Atlantis theory is fundamental: Atlantis sank beneath the sea. The Richat structure, however, lies in the heart of the Sahara Desert, thousands of kilometers from any major ocean. This glaring contradiction seems insurmountable. Unless, of course, the Sahara itself was once a very different place. Could ancient paleogeography hold a key to bridging this vast aquatic divide? Indeed, scientific evidence suggests that the Sahara Desert has not always been the arid expanse we know today. During several green Sahara periods, the region was lush with vegetation, lakes, and rivers. But for the Richat Atlantis theory, this isn't enough. We need evidence of a vast, deep ocean, not just a fertile landscape. Was there a time, 11,600 years ago, when the Atlantic Ocean extended deep into what is now Mauritania? Could ancient coastlines reveal a forgotten past? Paleogeographic studies indicate that parts of the Sahara, particularly western regions, were indeed submerged in ancient times. However, the exact timing and extent of these marine incursions are crucial. Could a significant portion of what is now Mauritania have been submerged around 9600 BC, providing the necessary oceanic context for Atlantis? The geological record offers glimpses, fragments of a submerged past, but stitching together a continuous narrative of deep ocean at the Richat site during that specific period remains a complex scientific endeavor. If the Richat structure was once underwater, even partially, how would it transition to being a landlocked desert feature? The answer lies in dramatic geological uplift and subsequent desiccation. Over vast stretches of time, tectonic forces can lift entire landmasses. Combine this with significant climate shifts, and an ancient seabed can become a modern desert. This geological transformation, though slow, is well documented in other parts of the world. But for Richat and Atlantis, it needs to align perfectly with Plato's timeline and narrative. A critical debate revolves around Plato himself. Was his account of Atlantis a literal historical record, passed down through generations, or a philosophical allegory designed to illustrate political and moral ideas? Many classical scholars lean towards the latter, viewing Atlantis as a cautionary tale rather than a historical reality. If Plato was writing fiction, then the search for a physical location becomes futile. Yet, the precise details he provided continue to fuel the belief in a tangible, lost civilization. Plato states he learned the story of Atlantis from Solon, a revered Athenian statesman, who in turn heard it from Egyptian priests during his travels. This chain of transmission suggests an ancient, perhaps historical, origin. Could these Egyptian records, now lost to us, have contained genuine memories of a prehistoric civilization? The layers of storytelling, passed across cultures and centuries, add another veil of mystery, making it harder to discern the kernel of truth from the embellishments of legend. One aspect that often sparks debate is the sheer scale. Plato describes Atlantis as a civilization capable of monumental works, shaping their environment. The Richat structure, however, is a product of natural geological processes. Could the Atlanteans have somehow harnessed, or even augmented, a natural feature like the Richat, transforming it into their ringed city? The idea is tantalizing, a collaboration between ancient human ingenuity and colossal geological phenomena, creating a site that mystifies to this day. Consider the Richat structure not just as a landform, but as a potential harbor or defensive complex if the region were indeed submerged. Its concentric rings, with their varying elevations and potential for water channels, could have been adapted to create a formidable port city. The natural topography would have provided a ready-made defensive structure, a series of moats and walls formed by the land and water. A military advantage, naturally given, then exploited by an advanced civilization. It's an intriguing thought experiment. Why does the idea of Atlantis, and now its possible connection to the Richat structure, resonate so deeply? Perhaps it's the human desire for a lost golden age, a sense of wonder, or simply the thrill of solving an ancient riddle. The Richat structure offers a tangible, visible target for that fascination, a geographical anomaly that sparks the imagination far more powerfully than any underwater anomaly. It allows us to point to a map and say, perhaps, just perhaps, it was here. What if Plato's sank beneath the sea isn't meant to be taken entirely literally? Perhaps it's a metaphor for destruction so complete, so transformative, that the civilization effectively sank from human memory, its landscape irrevocably altered. A massive flood, a dramatic shift in sea levels, or even volcanic activity, could have rendered a previously fertile land uninhabitable, making it seem sunk to those who remembered its former glory. This perspective offers a way to reconcile the desert location with the myth. Despite the intriguing parallels, mainstream science remains skeptical. The geological evidence for the Richat structure being a natural, eroded dome is robust. While parts of the Sahara were submerged, conclusive evidence that the Richat site itself was a deep ocean around 9600 BC, and then rapidly uplifted and dried, is still largely absent. Geologists emphasize the slow, predictable forces of erosion and uplift, rather than a rapid, cataclysmic transformation that would fit the Atlantean narrative. Science demands concrete evidence, not just compelling similarities. Another significant point of contention is the absence of any archaeological evidence within or around the Richat structure. If it were indeed the site of an advanced civilization, one would expect to find remnants of their presence, tools, structures, pottery, or any indication of human habitation. To date, no such findings have been reported that would support the Atlantis theory. The Sahara is a harsh environment, but even in extreme conditions, some traces often remain, offering clues to past inhabitants. The Richat structure's current form is a testament to immense erosion over millions of years. For it to have been a city, even one built upon a natural feature, the scale of geological removal required to erase all traces of human alteration and revert it to its natural state would be extraordinary. While nature can reclaim much, the idea of an entire advanced city being so completely obliterated, yet its fundamental blueprint remaining, requires a suspension of disbelief for many scientific minds. It's important to remember that the Richat structure is just one of many proposed locations for Atlantis. Theories range from the volcanic island of Santorini, whose eruption around 1600 BC inspired similar cataclysmic destruction narratives, to underwater ruins off the coast of Cuba, or even various sites in the Mediterranean and beyond. Each theory carries its own set of compelling, yet often contradictory, evidence. The Richat theory is simply the most visually striking and dimensionally aligned, giving it unique appeal. Could the striking similarities between Plato's Atlantis and the Richat structure simply be a powerful coincidence? Nature, in its infinite artistry, often creates patterns that mimic human designs or mythological descriptions. The human mind is adept at finding connections, especially when seeking to explain enduring mysteries. The Richat structure is undoubtedly a magnificent geological wonder, regardless of any Atlantean connection. Its beauty and symmetry are a testament to the Earth's own creative power. What is undeniable is the Richat structure's existence. It is a genuine marvel, a breathtaking geological formation that continues to perplex and inspire. It is visible from space, a unique eye gazing out from the heart of a vast desert. Its concentric rings, a testament to millions of years of natural processes, are a geological textbook in plain sight. It is a place of wonder, whether or not it ever harbored a lost civilization. Perhaps the true value of the Richat Atlantis theory lies not in its eventual confirmation, but in its ability to ignite imagination. It challenges us to look at our world differently, to question accepted narratives, and to consider possibilities that stretch the boundaries of conventional thought. It reminds us that history is not always neatly packaged, and that the Earth itself holds secrets far grander than we often comprehend. It's a reminder to keep exploring, to keep asking questions. As technology advances, from more sophisticated satellite imaging to enhanced paleogeographic modeling, our understanding of Earth's past continues to evolve. New data, new interpretations, and perhaps even new archaeological discoveries could one day shed more light on both the Richat structure's geological history and the lingering mystery of Atlantis. The desert, seemingly barren, might yet yield further clues, silently guarding its ancient secrets. So, did scientists finally find Atlantis in the Richat structure? Based on current scientific consensus, the answer remains no. The Richat structure is overwhelmingly understood as a natural, geological phenomenon, a spectacular domed anticline sculpted by eons of erosion. Its almost perfect circularity and concentric rings are a testament to the Earth's intricate processes, not the hand of an ancient civilization. This scientific explanation, while perhaps less romantic, is no less awe-inspiring in its scale and complexity. Yet, the allure of Atlantis persists, and the compelling visual alignment with the Richat structure will continue to fuel theories and capture imaginations. The legend of Atlantis, as told by Plato, serves as a potent reminder of the fragility of civilizations, the power of nature, and humanity's timeless quest for lost worlds. Whether a historical truth or a profound allegory, Atlantis, in its mysterious absence, continues to shape our dreams of discovery, inspiring us to look closer, question deeper, and wonder at the vast unknown that still exists on our planet.